A grippy floor, you want roll, so you need a harder wheel. Okay, so it doesn't make sense. Essentially, the more grippy the floor, the less grippy you want your wheel to be, and the more grippy the floor is, the smoother the floor is, the softer wheel you want. The exception is outdoors, because you just need to absorb all those stones and twigs and stuff like that and not splat on the floor. So who skated at Truro? Has anyone skated at Truro?
Yeah, Sunday.
Did you find it quite skiddy?
Yeah, I was very glad that
it's like an ice rink, isn't it?
Yeah, and it had been swept as well.
It'd been swept.
I was saying it's better than it normally
is.
You can feel the difference between your wheel rolling and your wheel just skidding.
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly there. Because it's polished wood floor, it gets really, really dirty. So when you've got your wheels down, you're basically skating on the dirt and not on the floor, so you cannot grip. So you need grip, so you go to a softer wheel. So I use an 84 because I need grip. In the dome, I don't need as much grip, so I use a 92. So it's, if you pass them around a field, and you can actually feel the difference. So that's an 84, so this is to give you grip.
What about the sports hall? Penzance is a bit different, isn't it?
The sports hall at Penzance, yeah, it's a bit different. I would use the same wheels as you use here, or a bit softer, but you can actually feel the difference in them. So these are my old wheels, so they're really worn down, but that's what I'd wear here, and they're a little bit harder, so they give you more roll.
I think it's kind of preference sometimes as well, isn't it?
Exactly. So that's it. So we've got, it's really your individual preference as well. So the general rule is the harder the is the grippier the surface, the softer you want to go. But like Cherie says, she skates on 88, I skate on 92, Chevy skates on 96. So it's a rule of thumb and a general rule. So it's something that you need to, once again, just ask people if you can borrow their wheels. Exactly. Ask people to borrow their wheels, because it's mega expensive otherwise. I was just lucky that I bought those first of all and they were okay. But does that make sense? Or does it sort of make sense?
How do pusher setups work within all that?
Okay.
Sorry.
That's all right. So, if you have a pusher set up, there's loads of different ways you can do that. When you have a pusher set up, would be when you mix it all I'm going around a corner, so you're going daft stance. You go around a corner and you're pushing on these wheels when you're crossovering. And you think, well, these wheels aren't good enough and those wheels aren't good enough. I want something in between, so you mix your wheels up. And you'll see Hex does that, and Blitz does that, exactly. Yeah, so what you can do is you can either change the inside wheels and keep the outside wheels the same. The inside wheels will grip as you're crossovering, and the outside wheels will still give you that roll. So that's pretty tech. I've tried it, I don't like it, but loads of people do like it. Hex likes it, Blitz likes it. Who else uses it? Excess will use it sometimes. Gnarly sometimes uses it. But there's loads of stuff on the internet about that, and there's a website called Rollers and Revelers. If you look on there, she actually just basically does a diagram where she tells you all the different setups for everything you need. That confuses me still.
The thing with it is that you can make the mistake of thinking, oh, I'll have these and these, and that doesn't work, because these are thinner than the poisons, and I've seen people with that.
I did that at Bristol in December, and it sounds stupid. I went to the toilet, I was really nervous beforehand, and I sat down for a wee on the toilet, and I looked down and I was like, my skates are rocking, and it was literally just going like that. Like, these wheels weren't even touching the floor, so there was no point having them on, so I was just touching like that. Oh my God. So I had to change them over really, really quickly again. But if you have a look at the difference, that's a standard sort of size wheel in width. And that one's, it doesn't look that much thinner, but it feels an awful lot thinner.
And what difference does that make to skating?
It makes you more agile. So if you're juking around the track, so if you're jumping and juking, it makes you more agile, but you lose stability. So that's also a personal choice as well. I moved to narrow wheels after I'd been doing it for a bit, basically. What wheels have you got, Sheree?
Yeah, the 88s are little atom dupes and they're quite thin.
So
I
they're
did
quite
that
thin, yeah.
thing
You
where
did the thing
I
with
tried to do a different setup and I had thicker wheels with thin
Yeah.
ones. And it did, yeah.
Well, that's
I was
exactly what I
wondering
did at
the fuck's
Bristol,
going
and
on.
I was thinking, why am I going slower? I don't get it. And then sat down on the toilet and was like, they're not touching the floor, that's why. What a dick.
Because you just stayed upright.
Good job you realised before you went.
But that doesn't look like that much of a difference, but it makes a huge difference to your stability and to how agile you are. So you'll see Big Willie, she wears even thinner wheels than that, hockey wheels, and she stays up, you know, because she just jumps around everywhere, doesn't she? So that's sort of the difference. So what I would say is just ask everyone to borrow all of their wheels, even if they look really big, really thin, really fast. If you step out and you don't like them, you can always take them off again, or we don't mind, do we? We don't mind at all, because we'd rather you didn't spend loads of money on wheels and then hate them and then have to sell them on like we all did when we started.
And have no money for alcohol.
Exactly. No money for partying. So does that make sense on the hardness and the softness? It's all there anyway, because it is quite confusing actually.
What's the A stand for?
I have no idea.
Okay.
They're all A.
I think
it's
it's almost irrelevant.
I think it's a science thing, because I looked at, apparently skateboard wheels can be B, because my boyfriend's like a manic skateboarder. They're B, and it's just the way they're produced or something, but it doesn't mean anything. Basically, but they're just all A, aren't they?
Yeah, they're all A.
So we just say 78s, 92s. Chevy skates on 96s if you want to try hers when she's back from holiday, but they will be really, really fast and really, really slippy.
You're welcome to try my 96s, because I can't put my mouth guard into tonight
That's
anyway,
right,
so
yeah.
there'll be a little bit I can't do, so you're welcome to
Yeah,
anything
brilliant.
you go this evening.
And I know that some of you guys borrowed these on Sunday, didn't you? And tried those.
Sold on.
You're sold on them.
Absolutely.
I really like the fashion idea. I want to go for something that's more mid before I go really.
Yeah, and you've got the wide, you've got the narrow, and then you've got the mid as well. So you've got all the different ones. These will be 38. They're 38s or 35s, and they're either 38s or 42s. And just those millimetres make loads and loads of difference. To confuse things further, the width of the wheel, so the diameter here, you can get the standard ones, which are these, and they're 63 millimetres. You can get just slightly smaller ones that are 59 millimetres, and they're really for jammers and jukers and things like that, because they make you more agile again. But if you think about like a bike, if you've got a big wheel, you don't have to push as hard to go as far.
I think mine are 62s.
Yeah, they're mostly 60.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
I was gonna
62s,
say,
not
yeah.
63s then. But the 59s, the jammers will wear those basically, because even though they could just go really fast anyway, but they make them really, really agile. But if you're doing like your min skills, like your 27 in 5, I would just stick to the standard wheels, because you don't have to push as hard to go as far. Because if you've got a bike with smaller wheels, you know, you're going to have to pedal harder. That's the way I look at it. Yes. Oh, yeah.
Would you recommend, like you said, there's wear on these? And
Yeah.
I've noticed on mine, because I guess when I plough stop, one foot goes more than the other.
Yeah.
Do you rotate them round?
You should definitely rotate them round, because I've got I've got a cone wheel. I had these for a year.
I'm creative.
Yeah, I had these for a year, and they lasted for quite a long time. But one of them is actually like a cone, because I didn't swap them around, because I'm really heavy skater, really heavy footed on my skating. So yeah, just rotate them around every now and then. It'll save you loads of money, because I've had to buy a whole new set again. I've got it somewhere. I think I gave it to someone who's going to use it on a trophy.
Can you explain to me about the different putting? I don't know if you've just done that. I don't know if
The
I'm talking or not.
pusher setup.
Putting, yeah.
Yeah.
Have I just? Could you talk about that? Well,
I think we were talking
yeah.
about that. Bad girl. Bad girl.
Yeah, I don't use it. I don't know loads about it, but I've read some stuff on it.
No, I keep meaning
But
to.
essentially, what it does, Rebecca, is it gives you grip and roll. So if you think, oh shit, I need a wheel in between these two, but I haven't got it, what you could do is you could put 2 of each wheel in different places. So once you work out how you skate, which wheel you're pushing on to crossover, for example, if you were pushing on the inside to crossover, you want grip because that's what you're pushing off on.
Your softer wheels on the inside
Exactly.
and the harder wheels on the outside.
So you would put these softer ones here because you want grip, and then when you put your foot down, you lean more on your outside, so you'll start rolling again. So it gives you that.
Even though now I still don't know. I just
I put one of those.
Do it the best.
to go round.
Have a look at what you do. Get someone to film you. Get someone to video you. But Hex uses it, and Gnarly Davidson uses it, and Chev will use it, and Blitz will use it as well. And
It's
so
more a
speak,
jammer thing, I think.
speak to
because
them
they
about
need to-
it. Yeah, because I tried it and I didn't like it. But I'm sure if you knew how to do it properly, it would probably be advantageous. But I think it's Rollers and Revelers or something like that. It's this really good website where basically the skates, they do the skates like that, and they do diagrams with different colour wheels telling you, and it tells you the setups. They've all got different names, like the Morty and stuff like that.
Sorry, would you be able to do that for us tonight? Because we borrowed Hex's wheels.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what setup she does. I think she does the Morty, so I could look it up and put
She
them on
puts,
for
so
you.
when she told me how to put them on my skate, she puts her two grippier ones on the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
then the two D-rods that she's got on the outside,
Yeah.
the pink ones. So green on the inside, pink
So
on the
your
outside.
softer, grippier ones are on the inside, and your hard ones are on the outside. But like I said, I don't use it.
Oh, I'm recording. I can't
Oh.
see the time.
Time.
You've been talking for 28 minutes and 28
So,
seconds.
okay. So, there's one more bit to wheels. One more bit to wheels, and it's an important bit, and that's your bearing on the inside, and that's what makes your wheel go round. So this is your wheel without the bearing in. That's your wheel with the bearing in.